Evening, RaMarcus here, back again with another video, and I'm in my VR arcade. We are closed at the moment, in lockdown in the UK because of this damn coronavirus. We've been closed since the end of December, so just over a month, well, 6 weeks maybe we've been closed. It's disheartening, it's not great, but using the opportunity to kind of upgrade a few things and get a few things in place so we're ready and roaring to go whenever sort of we are eventually allowed to open. I think they're talking now it might be April, maybe even May. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. We're definitely sort of ticking along at the moment, keeping my head down. Obviously losing a little bit of money every day we're not open, but you know, hopefully we can see the end of this because we only opened up just over a year ago, so we've had COVID around for most of the time we've been open. But that's not what I'm going to show you today. Today I want to show you some accessories that I've got for our headsets. So in the VR arcade we have 4 gaming areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we use the Valve Index headset. We used to use the Rift S, but had a few sort of issues with the software that we were using, so we switched them up to the Valve Index. Really nice headset, love it, but it has some issues that you do need to buy some accessories for, I think, especially for arcade use, but there's some of the accessories you might be able to get for yourself as well. So if I kind of scoot you over and have a little look. So here's the Valve Index headset. So lovely headset, and the Knuckles controllers are pretty cool, and we do really get a good bit of use out of them. I do like them. One of the main things with the Knuckles controllers is, you know, they have the strap on them that keeps it onto your hand. We've strapped that strap up out of the way because there was no way of stopping people's sweaty hands soaking into the strap. Now, for 99% of people, they're still quite happy to play just like normal, just as if they were normal controllers. They just can't let go. They still have the normal strap on. It's fine, and it works well. Because what you wouldn't want to do is wear a play VR, and then there's no way of us be able to dry them or anything for the next session when somebody comes in and then they've got soaking wet controllers. We obviously break them, wipe them all down between each session anyway. And the good thing with the Valve Index headset is it does come with this little extra padding at the back there that we use for most people. We put that on. That then makes it wipeable, but unfortunately the padding itself has got like, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a little fabric padding there. So if we can't keep that on, say for example my head, I need to take that padding out because my head's too big. And then if the person was to be sweaty, they would just sweat into this and it will soak in. And then it would obviously take forever to dry. So we keep these in and we swap this in, keep this in as much as we can, and then I swap it out for some people. And so far we've not had 2 sweaty people in a row and been okay. But obviously in long term, it's not ideal for hygiene. We want to sort of fix that. So I have from Kiwi Design, I bought some of these covers for that. So that will go onto the back there covering that. So this is the faux leather stuff. And also, because people get quite sweaty, we've got the little fans for the Frunk. So if you didn't know, in the Valve Index front there, you can take that off. And it's got a little USB port in there. It's meant to be for like adapters and stuff that you put in. But Kiwi Design, I bought these myself for the shop. Put a little fan in there to help draw air out, which hopefully should keep people cool. And one thing I do want to get as well is like little fans that we can put down here that point at people when they're playing, just to keep them cool. So for most people, I mean, what we have got, obviously, we've got the VR cover, sort of silicone cover on the headsets. We've also got a swap out for the AR/VR one, because although this is quite good, this silicone cover goes on to the default padding that just snaps off for the Valve Index. It is a bit narrow, even without the silicone padding on. Some people with glasses can really struggle. Now, still people with some other glasses still struggle, even with the AMVR one padding. They still struggle putting their glasses in, so it's not the widest thing ever, but it is still at least pleather. We can kind of wipe it down between uses and make sure we kind of keep it as clean as we possibly can, because it is important to us that hygiene, well, more and more important, I guess, with COVID and whatever, that we can just wipe things down. We can keep them clean, like the controllers. They're plastic. We can wipe them down, no issues. Headsets, 90% plastic, can wipe it down. But the bits that touch your face, by default, you've got the same sort of fabric covering on the back there that you have on the front there. So you want to swap that out for your headset. So we find that's quite good. I think we do find that the silicone cover tends to be a little bit rougher on people's faces. It's not kind of like I don't know whether they put like oil on some of them, but it's quite stiff, it sticks on their heads. We find with little kids, they do kind of struggle sometimes with that. So most of the time we keep the AMVR one on, and it's wider, but obviously with the VR cover it's easier to wipe. So it's a bit of a toss-up. But what I do find is that some people just tighten the headset up too much, and there's like jamming it on their faces. It's like, look, put it looser, don't worry about it too much, it's fine, you'll be okay. So we'll quickly put those two new accessories on. So we'll update the frunk and we'll update the trunk. The back, the brunk. Alright, so let's get this all updated. One thing you might want to know actually with our headsets in the arcade, we put this little extra bit of sort of tubing across the initial part of the wire. Now you might find this useful for other headsets, but also we have the cable system on the sort of ceiling. Kind of keep the cable out of people's way while they're playing. But what we find is when they spin around a lot, this is where the main twist happens. Now it took a couple of rift cables for us to realise that we needed to do something about it. And by putting this little bit of tubing on, it pushes the twist higher up, because this is a lot harder now to twist for them. It still happens, but not as bad. And it pushes the twist up the cable where there's more room, which helps us a lot. So we haven't lost any cables, we haven't lost any index cables since we've got these, but it works really well. So we use a little bit of sort of Velcro ties to kind of keep them on. Alright, so let's put this on here. It's obviously going to have to go on the inside, so I imagine it's going to go this way around, is it? It's hard to tell when you first put it on which way around it goes. Yeah, I think that's it. So if we put this middle bit on first and then work our way around the outside, around the outside, and yeah, so that matches there. Obviously that makes sense. Let's move the headphones out of the way. And does it have to go under the cable? Probably. That goes over there. Around here there's another one, and another couple that goes around the top. And what I'll probably do is take a moment after I've done this initial putting on and tidy them all up. So there we go, I've tied it all on. It's a little bit sort of ruffled on the inside here, but I don't think that's going to cause many issues. Maybe it just needs kind of a little bit of wearing in, a little bit of use. I did look at the instructions and it still looked a little bit ruffled on their version. So maybe over a little bit of time the play will be there. One thing I did notice actually is I could actually fit my wire in. So usually your wire comes in, I could probably attach it into there as well, make it even more snug. Actually, let's do that while I'm thinking about it, because knowing me, I'll forget as soon as I finish this video, and I'll be like, oh, I'll never get around to doing it. So there you go, in that goes there. So the wire can feed in through into the cover, through into that bit, all the way along the back with my little sort of extra bit of sort of padding, sort of cabling on it, out into this bit here. So that means I don't have to use those extra sort of Velcro bits, and then it goes up, and it goes up straight up, because that's where people are playing, that's where they're attached, is up. So that's quite nice. And now it's just a case of kind of giving it a little go. But let's have a little look at the frunk thing. So I've never taken this frunk off, the front trunk on this headset. So let's take that off. I don't think once we put it in that we're going to be able to put the front cover back on again, but we'll see. Let's open the frunk here. The frunk, it's not called, this isn't called the frunk. It goes in the frunk. I just like saying frunk, I think, that's what it is. Alright, so take this out. Little USB cable, because this goes straight into the headset itself. Because I guess the idea is to get some accessories that add features to the headset. So if we have a little look at the front, here we are. This pushes into that USB port. In there. Is it this way around? It is that way around. And then this goes onto the front here and I think just snaps in, yeah. So yeah, clearly there's no way of putting this front cover back on again, because it's going to be like way off now. Which is a shame, because I had our logo and stuff on it. So we're going to have to think about something else there. And I believe we just press this button and it turns on. It's on, off, on. And it's really quiet. Can you hear it? It's supposed to be drawing air out, which I guess in theory will keep the headset cooler. Already this little sort of bit in the front here feels a lot cooler. Looking kind of smart. I'll have to give this a quick go now and sort of play some games and sort of see how this padding, and let's put the AMVR padding on. Personally I prefer that, it's a bit more comfortable than rocking up with the silicone padding on. But and play a few games and sort of see if this keeps it cooler, because it definitely feels a little bit cooler to the touch, but it's not putting out a lot of fan. It kind of sounds like it's picking up a little bit. Yeah, so let's sort of see, maybe have a little bit of playing, get the headset warm, and see what it thinks. Alright, there we go. Just tested it out. I'm not a big sweater, personally. I'm a big guy, but I don't sweat very much, which is probably a little bit weird. But then saying that, I don't do a lot of running around or whatever. So, but I just play a little bit of Rhythmatic on the old Index, which Rhythmatic's like an arcade exclusive version of Beat Saber. I mean, it's not Beat Saber because Facebook are evil and horrible and took it off VR arcades. So the nice guys at Blackwell Games made a kind of a very similar game. It's had a load of new songs, and I was playing that just now, so maybe we'll do some videos on that at some point. Only available in the arcades at the moment. And it worked really well. You can hear it. You can hear the fan. It's like a very sort of slow, not whine, but you can just hear the fan. So if there's no games playing, nothing you're playing, you can hear it. But when the game was playing, I couldn't hear it at all. And it's very quiet. I mean, I'm very particular with kind of my sound. But I couldn't hear it over the game. But if I put my ear up to it now, I can hear it. I can feel it pulling the air away, and it was actually quite nice. I did kind of feel like my eyes were a little bit cool because it's drawing air out. So hopefully that should help sort of keep the headsets cooler, make them last longer, don't get any sort of sweat and build up going on. Everything dries out nice and quick. Obviously perfect for sort of hygiene and that sort of thing. And then the back cover, yeah, fine. Does this job. As I say, I'm not a sweaty person, so I'm going to have to kind of get this out once we reopen and get some sweaty heads in there and sort of see how it goes. But it seems wipeable, seems about sort of as wipeable as anything else we've had from Kiwi or VR cover or AMVR. It could look a little bit nicer. It's a little bit sort of, as I say, ruffled up looking, but I think for most people it's going to be fine. Let me just double check that I can still put the padding back in, because that's important. So I need to be able to put that in. So let me just double check. I'm doing it one-handed. We can still put the padding in. Yeah, no worries there. Padding's still back in again. So for those smaller heads, those little heads, it goes back in. And because it's kind of not fabric, because it's not fabric like it originally was, it's kind of that pleathery stuff. It fits on a little hook. So at the moment we've got little rubber sort of sticky out bits, sort of pegs, that the headsets just rest on. I do want to upgrade them to actual sort of hooks to stop them sort of falling off by accident, but so far that's been working quite well. So now having that on will double protect it even if the padding's not in the back there. So overall, two good accessories. I can't remember what the prices were, but I'll put them up on screen now. So the padding and the Frunk fan, that's how much they are. But I bought those with my own money, so I wasn't sending them, giving them for free or anything like that. But I think they're a good purchase, especially for VR arcades, keeping people cool. I think the only thing I want to get now for keeping people cool is like a fan or something that will put up underneath the PCs here and just point in the middle of the play space, just to keep people nice and cool. And that's about it. So that with the Index headsets, that back sort of padding was always a worry for me. That it always looked like people would just soak into it and it wouldn't be very nice. So that solves our issue with that. Perfect, now brilliant headset. There are still a few of the occasional games that are not supported properly by the Index headsets, which is annoying. So the controllers don't work and that sort of thing, but we've had a few people kind of push some updates to their games and fix that sort of thing, including something exclusive that we've got for VR arcades that I'm going to bring a video out on soon. Maybe the next video that you see will be my two kids, my other half and myself all playing at the same time. and you'll see it in sort of split screen 4-player on this channel. So make sure you check back, subscribe for that. So let me know what you think about these accessories. Let me know what you think about this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, that's fine. I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it. But do let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. I'll try and do better for next time. Become one of the RaMarcus, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified when I next upload a video. And that's me done. I'm out. Have a virtual high five.